Oh, there you go.
Well, welcome to our weekly education session in English on the Spirits book. And we'll begin tonight with a prayer. So if you could, close your eyes and slow, deep breaths, centering yourself while releasing the stress of the day and the hours leading up to this moment. And another deep breath, breathing in the essence of God and Jesus and the spirits, our mentors and guides, our benevolent spirits, and all those who are here to be educated. And we humbly request permission to begin tonight's session. And so be it. So from the Spirits book, beginning, well, we left off in part 2, chapter 4. And so we're going to pick up where we left off last week with question number 193. During their new existences, can humans regress to a lower level than the one they have already reached? In a social position, yes, but as a spirit, no. The spirit cannot regress. But certainly, socially, the subsequent incarnation can be less than the previous. Question 194. During a new incarnation, can the soul of a moral individual animate the body of a scoundrel? No, because a spirit cannot regress. So once the spirit has achieved a moral balance, a moral capability, a moral excellence, they cannot be anything less than that.
Yes, correct. No downgrades.
And the soul of a wicked individual becomes the soul of a moral one. Yes, if it repents, such would be a reward. And then Kardec's explanation. The evolution of spirits is progressive and never regressive. Spirits raise themselves gradually through the hierarchy and do not descend from the level they have reached. In their different corporeal lives, they may descend as individuals, but not as spirits. Thus, the soul of a powerful person may later animate a humble artisan, and vice versa, because positions among individuals are frequently the inverse of the elevation of their morality. Herod was a king. Jesus was a carpenter. Wow, what a great example.
Yep, a great example. Social level doesn't mean anything.
Vice versa. Positions among individuals are frequently the inverse of the elevation of their morality. So as the morality improves, increases, cleans, becomes pure, the positions in subsequent lives will not necessarily elevate at the same degree.
Correct.
And often do just the opposite. And that makes perfect sense because the challenges would strengthen the spirit.
Yes, but high level positions they are challenge as well.
Of course.
They are great challenge actually, and it teaches a lot for the spirit too. But it's up to the person, to the spirit, to decide how to manage things like that in their life, in his life or her life, when they come as a rich person or somebody knowledgeable or something like that. So yeah, but
Yeah, I would imagine those who ascend socially, their ego and pride is their number one challenge.
oh yeah, mm-hmm. Inevitable, we are going to face both of those situations. As like right now, we are kind of in the middle, right? We're not like millionaires, we're not poor, starving. Um, I believe the social position, in that matter of social position, what we are right now is the most comfortable. Because if you have money or power in your hands, you have like great responsibilities. And if you do not have anything of those, you have to face difficult through like, starving, those kind of things, on the material things, and you have to go through it. So yeah, if I can say like something like be in the middle, I don't know, it's just a personal opinion. I think it's it's good.
It is also interesting that at this time in Earth evolution, that we in the United States are living a very affluent lifestyle. But many people have education and good jobs, homes, cars, toys, etc. And materially driven or not, the capabilities are there. And they don't necessarily, as we know, spend their resources as they could, charitably or otherwise. So
Oh
again,
yeah, mm-hmm. That's
again,
true.
we are all challenged in one respect or another.
Well, if you look to the bigger picture, everything's a challenge. The matter that we are here is a challenge already. And every single one right now is going through something that they have to be better on it, no matter who you are.
Yep.
So, right. And yeah, if you're in this world, this type of world, because you have some challenge to face, definitely.
Okay, 195. Mightn't the possibility of improving oneself in another existence lead some persons to persevere on the evil path with the thought that they can always correct themselves later? Those who think that way do not really believe anything at all. The idea of eternal punishment no longer restrains them because their reason rejects it. Instead, it leads them to question everything. If only reasonable means were used to guide humans, there would be no such skeptics. During its corporeal life, an imperfect spirit may think as you have stated, but once released from matter, it thinks very differently. It soon perceives that it is calculated badly, and so to make up for it, will carry an opposite sentiment into its new existence. Progress is accomplished thereby, which is why on earth there are those who are more advanced than others. Some have already had the experiences that others have yet to go through. The latter acquire such experiences little by little. It depends on each individual to hasten his or her own progress or to delay it indefinitely. And Kardec goes on to explain, persons who find themselves in a dreadful situation desire to change it as quickly as possible. Those who have convinced themselves that the tribulations of this life are the consequence of their own imperfections will seek to ensure a new existence that is less painful. This thought will draw them away from the path of evil much more readily than the thought of eternal fire, which they know to be pure nonsense. So if I'm not meek in this existence, I will be more meek in the next existence.
You know, when you buy something very expensive and you have to basically do a loan on it, you know, pay month by month because it's a huge amount to pay at once and you don't have money, but you have the possibility to have whatever you want by paying month by month. I do give this example as our life. When we mess it up a lot, and when you come back to the spirit world and our mentor says, okay, of course, after we just, you know, accept what we have done, because sometimes we don't, and we spend a long time in places like Umbral. But when you have accepted, understood what we have done and what it needs to be done, must be done in order to fix everything, normally our mentor says, you're going to have multiple chances. You're not going to get everything at once. There's so many things to fix it, you know? I will give an example, of course, that's like a absurd example because I don't even know, or I think that the guy didn't reincarnate yet because what he has done, like Hitler. Imagine it, you know, like the bunch of people that he had killed, and how long is going to take for him to recovery of that damage, plus how long is going to take for everyone that had passed the situation recovered of not having hate, revenge, sadness on their hearts. That's a huge like example, but and in a small example, whatever you do, it depends. It takes time. I remember André Luiz, one of his books, he gave an example of one suicidal guy that he committed suicide by drowning in the sea, and took like at least 3 lives for him to recover of a problem in his throat, because he came, I believe, two times or 3 times with problem on his throat, because the perispirit must recover it. And not just only harmful things on your physical body can make you go through more than 2 or 3 lives, or much more than that, to recovery, but harmful to other people as well. So yeah. So if you don't make it in this life, definitely going to have chance to other ones.
Okay.
Hello.
Hello,
Hello.
Samantha.
Oh, I thought you didn't come because you said you had something to, I know, meeting, something like that, right?
Yeah, I just finished.
Very good.
Okay, 196. Since spirits can only improve by undergoing the sufferings and tribulations of corporeal existence, does it follow that material life may be seen as a type of sieve or filter through which the beings of the spirit world must pass in order to arrive at perfection. Yes, that is right. They improve during such trials by avoiding evil and practicing the good. However, it is only after many incarnations or successive purifications and after a longer or shorter lapse of time that, according to their own efforts, they reach the goal meant for them. Does the body influence the spirit to improve it, or does the spirit influence the body? Your spirit is everything. Your body is a garment that rots. That is all. And Kardec says we have a material image of the various degrees of the soul's purification in the juice of the mind. It contains the liquor called spirits or alcohol, but it is weakened by the large quantity of foreign elements that alter its essence. It only reaches absolute purity after several distillations, each removing a portion of the impurities. The alembic represents the body into which the soul must enter to purify itself. The foreign elements are like the perispirit, which is more and more purified as the spirit approaches perfection. That is an excellent analogy. I understand the fermentation process of wines and beers and spirits, and so that repeated distillations is a part of every one of those processes. And that makes perfect sense, getting rid of the impurities.
Yes, to distillate the impurifications, the impurities. That's a good example.
But it's still all up to us and free will and discipline and all that.
So the more the more I study and reach out of some books that explain how the perispirit, the performance of the perispirit, if I may say that, when we embrace the opportunity to be here and we just do the wrong things, which doesn't help us in many ways. It's, let's give an example, like, suicide is one of the example, but like drugs, abuse of anything that is harmful for your body. And then we have to go through many other incarnations just to purify the spirit, just to recover the spirit. It's an interesting example, some studies on that. André Luis bring many examples on their books, on his books actually. But it's some examples they don't explain, in details, because we don't know yet how those things work. We know that the perispirits kind of, they just compare to plastic thing, because you can, the perispirit can take different forms. But how those things work, so those babies that spent 7 months in the womb and ended up dying has a purpose for that. And one of the main reasons most of the time, because they just need a space of time in the matter to finish the purification of their body. It's incredible, the explanation and the reason. So you don't even need like to live for real in the body to have the opportunity to purify your pure spirit. It's amazing. When I'm thinking about it, like, you know, those babies that ended up dying in the womb. Has explanation for that.
Anything, Samantha?
No, I'm probably gonna have to reread this on my own because I was late. So I'll leave my explanations for next time.
Okay.
I wanted to make sure I join you guys at least for the final prayer.
Well, good. You can lead us.
I can do it if you want.
Would you please?
Yeah. So let's go ahead and close our eyes right now. Elevate our thoughts. Let's open our hearts and welcome and thanking the spirituality that is here with us. Welcome them to your hearts. Let them give you the balsam necessary to cure any sadness, to help you understand the problems you're going through, to give you some relief on your trials, but most importantly, to give you the strength to continue, never give up. Thanking the spirituality that is always around us is a way of us to always have them around, to always let them know how important they are for us. Let's always be vigilant, never forget that. Keep our energies elevated even when we are going through difficult times. Let's remember that everything has a purpose in this life. Every single one of us, we have a mission. And whatever you're going through, remember, there is a reason for that. Let's thank them also for being with us every Tuesday during this study. Even though it's a short study, but it's so important for us and especially for them, for all those lost ones that need some kind of comfort during this study, that they may find the help that they need. They may find the light and they can follow that light. To our city of Las Vegas, let's pray for all those lost souls, and that prayer can go through to every single one listening to this right now. Thank you, Mark. Thank you, Swellen, for being here. And so be it.
So it is. And
Thank you.
And I'll be in Vegas next week.
Yay.
Yes, that was well, just let's stop recording. So I have a question for you guys.
Stop recording. Okay.